Practices are going great. Obviously, we feel like we're a little bit ahead this year with the experience that we got this summer in the World University Games. So definitely ahead than any season that we've had before, which we definitely needed with all the changes.
Three starters lost off of last year's team. This isn't the first time that you've lost players to graduation and transfer. Lessons learned in the past that has helped you in reshaping and reconfiguring this roster?
Well, this is always my favorite time of year is just the unknowns. And obviously, I mean, two returning starters with Kyla Charles and Kristen Comfroy. But putting all these pieces together, we've had a lot of players kind of silently waiting for their turn. So, really excited for them and the opportunity that presents itself. I think also just being patient. Where we're at in the non-conference is not going to be where we're at come conference play. So just understanding that it's going to be a process for us early.
What, if anything, have you done on the court, off the court to kind of get this group to mesh specifically?
Well, again, I mean, we have a young point guard. We have a freshman and a sophomore that are competing for those positions. So that takes time. So fortunately, this summer allowed us and the game experience, having 6 games and the exhibitions and the friendlies and that were huge. So just building that chemistry, you look at even our practices, 10 players and only 2 players that took a lot of minutes and reps in practice. So that's been created differently for us in practice of them learning 4 or 5 days in a row and taking those kind of minutes against the pounding that they take. So just all great stuff to help make us better.
I know you don't want to look back a whole lot, but what are you guys going to miss without SWK, Brianna, and Destiny?
Well, I'll say the early is just Brianna Jones cleaning us up, making us look good, even with missed shots. Our rebounding is something that we've really had to focus in on because she was huge. Obviously, that instant offense with her on the block and Shatori from the perimeter. So. But they weren't there overnight either. It was a process for them through their sophomore, junior, and senior campaigns. So just like it is for this team that again is really young. So I think just understanding the patience that we need to have with such a young team when you're asking a Kyla Charles as a sophomore to be a go-to player for you. So I think just understanding what that's going to look like for us.
Coach, you talked about players.
A little bit about your 2 point guards and their style of play and their strengths kind of against.
Yeah, obviously Sarah Myers is a sophomore for us, gives us great size and just a student of the game. I mean, she's really done a really good job in terms of having that year under her belt and having command of our system. So she's really done a lot of great things for us at that position, and Shanice as well. I mean, has come in as a freshman, doesn't present like a freshman, really values the ball. Ball security is really important to her. So as she learns our system and what we need from different looks and different players and getting them involved. Defensively for her, she's a little behind, so just getting her up to speed in terms of what that takes, which is a process. But they both have been willing and able and doing a lot of great things.
Kyla played a lot of quality minutes last season. What sort of leap do you expect from the sophomore?
Well, Kyla is one of our dominant leaders. I mean, she wants the ball, she wants the pressure. You see how explosive she is. She's a matchup nightmare, from that wing forward position. In terms of getting up and down the floor for us. Offensively, she's handling the ball some like Alyssa Thomas in transition, and needing her rebounding.
You briefly mentioned the university games. How have those experiences helped going into the season?
Well, I mean, when you can get, almost a 30-year season in the summer, I think that's a great thing. So, the fact that we were able to get, go 5-1, get 6 games. We had 2 friendlies. We had a couple inter-squad scrimmages before we left. So to get, 10 games so early in the summertime and the practices that we were able to get it, the chemistry, the team building, being over in Taiwan together. So nothing but great things that we're going to be able to lean on from that experience.
What were your takeaways from just those games? Obviously, the circumstances were different. But.
Yeah, obviously when you take young people 15 hours on a flight to another country and just conditions at time, just put their head down and worked and really did some things from a bonding end where their chemistry was really good. So we gained a lot as a staff in terms of practice and games. To be able to understand kind of how our team was being built. So some things that give us an advantage here early going into the season.
How does your in-game strategy change having such a smaller roster?
Well, you're still learning, your in-game and who has the hot hand. I mean, that was some of what we took out of Taiwan. I mean, we had one game where Aisha Small went 15 for 16 from the field, so she became our hot hand and who we were running a lot of sets for. So I think, obviously, that's one of the things I think we do a really good job with is, feeding that hot hand and understanding matchup situations.
Coach, you talked about players waiting their turn. What do you expect out of Brenda Frese this year?
Big things for Brianna Frazier. I mean, she has worked extremely hard. I feel like she's one of our most talented players that we have on the court. And when she puts her mindset in the right direction and plays at the highest level, she can't be stopped. When she's not there, I think she's an average player. So she's been someone that has taken major steps forward, and someone that we, I think, to have a big season, need her to be consistent for us.
Coach, I think this will be something like your fourth new point guard in the last 5 years. Do you guys feel kind of uniquely prepared to bring someone like that new into the fold and get someone kind of ready to take over?
Yeah, we have had some transition there in that position, but I think the greatest thing here at Maryland is that the confidence we instill in our players to be ready for their window and their opportunity. And whether you're a freshman, or a senior. I mean, I could use Chloe Pavlik's career. She started as a freshman and then started as a senior. So when you're ready through different situations, when your number's called, always being ready. And I feel like, our players love being able to have that kind of ownership.
You guys only have 3 forwards right now. Are you looking to bring someone else in or have one of the guards switch positions or anything?
We actually have 4 with Asia Ellison now returning off of the knee injuries, and she's really making some tremendous improvements for us. So obviously, yes, our numbers are thin down there. Aisha Small has given us another dynamic to go 4 out, and is playing some quality minutes down there as well for us. So just being prepared for any of that comes our way.